With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Career Source, Citrus, Libby, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Libby, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA.
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Come join New Male Medical, the experts in men's sexual health, and celebrate the opening of their newest location in the Villages this Friday from 11 to 1 at 8640 County Road 466. That's at the Santa Fe crossing on 466 going towards Rolling Acres. There will be free food and refreshments for all in attendance. Spend some time touring the facilities, and men get a free testosterone screening. For more information, call 404-4779. That's 404-4779.
Loco Graphics would like to invite you to their second location on 200 next to Sonny's Barbecue. They are officially open to help you out with all your sign, vehicle wraps, and printing needs. Visit them and mention this ad for free business cards. Need a logo? We've got you covered. From business cards all the way to menus and flyers. Now 2 locations to better serve you. On Merricamp, half a mile east from Forest High School, and on 200 by Sonny's Barbecue. Loco Graphics, impacting your customers. Like us on Facebook.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 19 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I use the internet for a lot of things, and the other day I discovered I can order a sandwich online.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I think that's great.
And the joke would be that I open up the CD drive, which I don't even think we have CD drivers anymore. But there was no sandwich in it. I had to go get it.
Uh-oh.
It's just a silly thing. Right now, we have so many things we can use the internet for. And the one thing about the internet that is something we need to be cautious of is that somebody who has just the minimal amount of skills with putting together a website can make a website look very, very legit, very, very real. And if you're ordering, I guess, a sandwich, it probably doesn't matter. But if you're ordering medications, it really does matter. You don't know who you're ordering from unless you are absolutely sure. So we are going to talk about this just for a little bit. Libby Barney is on the phone. Libby is the lady, Robin?
Yes.
Libby is the founder and the executive director of the Alliance for Safe Online Pharmacies. Her younger sister was victimized by an illegal online drug seller and suffered adverse effects from the products that were dispensed. Wow, that's scary. And Dr. Carmen A. Catizone is on the phone. He's the executive director of the National Association of Boards of Pharmacies. So Dr. Catizone will be able to give us the information we need to make sure that we don't ever make that mistake that happened to Libby's younger sister. Good morning, Dr. Catizone and Libby Barney, and thank you for being on the air with us.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Doctor, am I saying your name correctly, first of all?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Where are you? Where are you both located?
Right now we're in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for being on the air. Libby, how's your sister? How's she doing?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, she's fortunately much better these days. As you know, in stark contrast to her experience a number of years ago, where she had been purchasing medicine online. As you mentioned, she's just like anybody else. It's easy, it's convenient. The sites look legitimate. And in her case, her doctor had even encouraged her to do so, saying it was more convenient for a recent college grad who's in between jobs. And she had insurance, she had a doctor's prescription, but it was easy and a little bit cheaper for her to buy online. And in her case, she did suffer adverse events and vomiting and diarrhea for more than a year, until one day I asked her, "Where'd you get your medicine?" And she said, "Online." And I said, "My gosh, don't you know what I do? I'm a lawyer. This is what I research and study." And unfortunately, I realized at that time, millions and millions of people around the U.S. and globally don't realize the risks that they're taking when they buy online.
Wow. Wow. Was there an analysis done of the medications, and did something? I mean, were your suspicions confirmed?
We were suspicious of the medicines at the time, and the good news is she just had to stop taking those medicines. Within a number of weeks, her condition did improve, and she'd been on this prescription allergy medicine for years before. Had no problem. Was it was very safe and effective for her. But she bought it from her brick and mortar pharmacy, and when she started taking the online version, something shifted, and she became very ill. So we were glad that her health improved when she started buying legit again, and her health got better, much better.
Well, that's the good news. Wow. I wonder how many people we've lost because of bad medicines. Doctor, do we have any statistics like that?
No, unfortunately we don't, and that's one of our big concerns. NABP, the National Association Boards of Pharmacy that I represent, are trying to work with patients and find out whether or not they've bought medications and suffered a problem from them. But the problem is when they buy medicines online from a pharmacy they're not sure of, they don't tell people they've bought it. And if they have other symptoms or other problems, their doctors are often unaware and think it may be the medicine not working or something else. They don't ask all the time, where did you get the medication from?
That's right.
Wow. And so is there anything in the works to give us, I guess, a resource that we can trust?
Yes. We've developed a domain, .pharmacy, very similar to .com, .edu, .gov, with the added benefit that we review all the pharmacies before they're issued that domain. So any pharmacy that has .pharmacy attached to his web address, you can trust as a legitimate pharmacy. They're going to be shipping safe medications approved by the FDA. And consumers that want information about this can go to our website, safe.pharmacy, where we list the pharmacies we reviewed, talk about pharmacies they should avoid, and then give consumers useful information about their medications, how to use them, how to take them, how to store them, things that consumers ask every day.
So is it considerably beneficial to get your pharmaceuticals online? I mean, we have so many pharmacies right in my own town right here, and this isn't a big town. I mean, I just go down the corner, you get your medicine.
Yeah, it's a convenience for some patients. Some patients may not want to stop. Sometimes they find it a lot easier to do everything online. They're banking, they're shopping, and they want to include buying prescription drugs in that mix. But they have to do so with caution and have to look for things like .pharmacy in order for them not to be injured. Okay, so I like the fact that you have a whole, I mean, this kind of almost, if it says .pharmacy, it's kind of like that HTTPS thing, unless you're supposed to trust that, right? Okay, so if I went there right now, would I see some of the known names like CVS and Walgreens? Are they all signing up to be part of this? Yes, the major chains are signing up. Some of them are on the website. Target.pharmacy is already there, and the other chains should be on very soon because they support this concept. But just as you said, they recognize that .pharmacy is a great way to educate and empower consumers to make the right choices.
Are there different laws for pharmacies that are online in the United States as opposed to pharmacies that are online in England?
Yes, there are. But the laws for the online pharmacies in the U.S. are the same for that traditional brick-and-mortar pharmacy on your corner. That's what we're working with the other countries as well. What the difference is and how do they actually conform to what the basic standards of .pharmacy are, so that if a consumer uses a pharmacy in England or the U.S., they can be assured of some basic protections like we've talked about. Safe medications, valid prescriptions, and pharmacists available to talk with them.
Oh, wow. Libby, you are an attorney. Is there anything that you would tell somebody who's been made ill from these? Is there any recourse for them?
It's a good question, and the first thing I'd say is make sure you contact your local board of pharmacy. Safe.pharmacy does have some resources that you can look to get in touch with your local board of pharmacy to talk about your experience You may also want to contact the medical board if there was a doctor involved in that discussion. But the bigger problem is some of these sites are based offshore, and so actually suing and getting recourse, it can be difficult for patients. And not only that, but sometimes these sites also steal your credit card information and injure your health as well. And so there's a host of problems when people are buying from illegal online drug sellers, and why the Alliance and NABP are trying to make sure that people have access to those safe sites that do exist, but can be hard to find if you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And doctor, we were given a number that says that 10,900 internet drug outlets selling prescription medications are 97% out of compliance. How can that be?
Wow.
How can they be given licenses to practice?
Right, we review sites every day, and of those 11,000 sites, as you said, 97% of those are illegal or rogue sites. And the reason is what Libby just mentioned. They're located outside of the U.S., and so they're faking those licenses or faking legitimacy just so they can bring people to their site and think they're real, and then they're selling these counterfeit products.
Okay, so I'm guessing that if I were to go to my local pharmacy and they had an online presence right now, I'll just use Walgreens as an example, they wouldn't have the .pharmacy yet. Will they be switching over to that?
If you go and you know the pharmacy and they've got an online presence, you can be assured that that's a safe website.
Oh, okay.
The major chains are buying or asking for the .pharmacy, and what it'll do is it'll link it to their .com site, but it'll establish this review first so consumers know that by .pharmacy,
oh, okay,
follow a path to the regular site.
And is that what happens when people from America order their drugs from Canadian companies that they have the seal approval from you guys?
Well, what happens is a lot of Americans think those Canadian sites are actually in Canada or regulated by Canadian authorities, and they're not. They're based in Pakistan, China, India, and what they do is they create thousands of pages to make people think they're legitimate, but they're actually processed out of these central sites in Pakistan, India, China, and they actually are involved in counterfeit drugs and just trying to dupe people into going to their sites and buying their drugs.
My goodness. I even think I've seen some ads for things.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem unusually cheap, too. Like it just doesn't make sense that something would be so much cheaper than normal,
That's the key.
You're right. You're right. It's buyer beware, and if it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Probably is, yeah. All right, good information. So I went to the site, safe.pharmacy. That looks like it's more, where I went, it looks like it's more for the pharmacies that want to sign up. Is that right?
There are other resources in there for consumers and patients on other parts of the sites so that people can get more information.
Okay, all right. For the listeners, I guess the message to take away from this is twofold. A, don't trust the online presence unless you have a reason to trust it. It sounds like if it's already established and you've had no problem, I guess you're okay. But this new, what do you call it after the dot? That's not a domain. Is that a domain? Pharmacy? No.
It's a domain.
Domain.pharmacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So safe.pharmacy is the website that we're taking away. Okay. Libby, thank you for being on the air with us. Thank you for what you're doing. You're definitely making the world a better place. And Dr. Carmen Catizone, thank you for you as well. I'm sure you are helping us in the exact same way. Thank you for being on the air with us, and have a great Thursday.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. There's stepped-up activity in a road shutdown in upstate New York where two killers escaped from prison Saturday.
All this now because, according to a source close to the investigation, sniffer dogs have picked up the scent of the two inmates.
Fox's David Lee Miller authorities have received more than 500 tips. A change at the helm of our parent company, 21st Century Fox. According to Fox Business Network, Rupert Murdoch has just announced he's giving the CEO position to his son, James Murdoch. And a British screen legend has died, Christopher Lee, who made a name for himself playing villains.
You know of what I speak, Gandalf. A great eye, lidless, wreathed in flame.
He was Saruman the White in Lord of the Rings and battled Yoda in Star Wars. Christopher Lee dying at age 93 in a London hospital.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen, Fox News. We report, you decide.
And now another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man told his wife he only wanted a nice card this Father's Day, so she went to Golfsmith and got the new tailor-made AeroBurner iron set and a free $100 gift card. He was overwhelmed by the thoughtfulness of the card and couldn't really blame her for keeping the irons for herself. Hurry into Golfsmith from now until June 28th and get a free gift card of up to $100 when you purchase a new tailor-made AeroBurner club. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You got to get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of Choice Hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. You always have a choice.
All right, 28 minutes before 12 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I just went online to jerrysonline.com. Jerry's Phone has an online presence, a website.
They do.
I want to see what Ruben looks like. I haven't met Ruben yet. Who's on the phone?
You want me to talk?
Yay!
You want me to talk and do the ad?
How you doing, Jerry?
Yes, we do.
Brianna's not here, and Ruben, he's busy, so I guess they got left it up to me.
I'm looking at your website.
I haven't done a whole lot of these things, but I think maybe I can work my way through on this one. Listen, we have a jeweler on duty down here, and he can do most anything. If you have something you need repaired, you need a battery changed in your watch, or you need something to do with repairing a chain, repairing a ring, sizing a ring, he can do all of these. You just need your jewelry cleaned up. If you got a bunch of all scratched and you hadn't done it in years, he'll do that too. He'll clean up your whole set of them and fix it up to where they look new again, and you'll feel good about wearing them. Lots of other things at Jerry's. We also got a Smith on duty too. He can do all clean your gun now while you ain't going hunting, and he'll fix it up. He made one. Gosh, I don't know. This thing looked like a wild tiger, the gun that he painted.
Oh, wow.
And he does Cerakoting, but he can do just about anything in that. Lots and lots of things that we do at Jerry's that people don't think about. And we're looking, if you have something you want to sell and you need to get some money and you want to go on vacation and you've looked at that stuff for 20 or 30 years, like I do at the house, and want to get rid of it. So I'm beginning to get rid of my stuff that I've collected over these years, and even a pawnbroker can get rid of some of the stuff that he's taken in for years. But antiques, all that kind of stuff. So I'm working on doing that right now at my house. But if you want to, we'll buy it at Jerry's. If you have something like that, you have some German Luger pistols or German rifles, Model 98s, or Japanese stuff, Army stuff, old Winchesters, old U.S. carbines, M1 rifles, 45, 11. The old Army 45.
Right.
Lots and lots of stuff.
That's good
you
stuff.
want to go find some of that stuff you've lost in the attic? I got a metal detector that you can go find it with.
In the attic.
Wherever. Might be 40 feet under the ground, but I got them things that'll tell you where it's at and how many shovels you'll have to bring to get it. We're the only white metal detector in Ocala, so come by and see us. We got lots of good stuff.
All right.
Okay, I guess I got another 30 minutes.
I like the idea that you reminded us that you have people there who can clean the jewelry and clean the guns and get a new one, whatever. And so that's always good to know, right?
That's right. Good services.
Jerry, where are you? What's your address?
Our address is Northwest 8th Street. And 441-27-301 and Pine Street. 4 names for the street.
Right.
And we've been here for 48 years, so if you've been in Ocala, or if you hadn't been in Ocala, we still have people come by here, been here for 20 years, and never been by Jerry's Pawn Shop.
Yeah.
They get a surprise when they come in and see all this good stuff.
I know. I've heard from them.
Y'all come on by. We invite everybody to come and see us, and it's education just to come in. I bought a shark's tooth that's 1 million years old the other day.
Wow.
And it's about 3 inches high. I don't know how old them prehistoric sharks were, but they got a tooth that's 3 inches high and 3 inches wide. They're big dudes.
Wow.
I hate for one of them to bite me. I don't think you'd have a leg when he got to me.
No, I don't think you'd have a life. You wouldn't have a life.
Okay.
Just want to let your listeners know that you have a website, jerrysonline.com. You'll see Jerry and the whole staff over there on the top picture.
That's right.
Yeah.
We do have a site, and y'all check in on it. Come see us. Check out what we got.
Thank you, Jerry. You take care.
All right. Y'all have a nice day.
You too. We will be right back. Go to Jerry's online. Go to Jerry's Pawn and Gun. We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Chip, what are the 2 most important reasons people buy from Ford Lincoln of Ocala in Village Ford of Bellevue?
Easy. They've shopped everywhere else and found out that we have the selection and the price that can't be beat.
Exactly. People buy from us because they know when it comes to new Fords, no one comes close to our huge inventory of every model, equipment package, and color Ford has to offer.
And when it comes to price, Ford Lincoln of Ocala or Village Ford of Bellevue is unbeatable. Backed by our low price guarantee in writing.
We invite you to visit our websites at FordofOcala.com or MyVillageFord.com. View our complete inventory of new and certified pre-owned Fords. Then check out the long list of positive reviews from our customers who have purchased or had their vehicles serviced with us.
Although selection and price are important, you also receive the benefits of a courteous factory-trained certified staff that just makes doing business with Ford Lincoln of Ocala or Village Ford of Bellevue a real joy.
Come in for the selection.
Come in for the price.
Come to Ford Lincoln of Ocala or Village Ford of Bellevue, your family of Ford dealerships where we've got what it takes.
Here are today's headlines from The Source. WOCA, the special session of the Florida legislature is not over yet, but top lawmakers finally have an exit strategy. President Dandy Gardner, a Republican from Orlando, says the budget talks are progressing smoothly, telling lawmakers they can expect to see a final deal on the spending plan by early next week. Gardner said, quote, "It would be our hope to finish up by Monday and then have something we could all agree on and hopefully vote on by Friday." They'll have to wait, of course, until next Friday because there is a state law that says lawmakers have to wait at least 72 hours to read the budget before they actually vote on it. If all goes as planned, they'll be able to end the special session one day early. A truck carrying several sharks crashed on I-95 in Volusia County as heavy storms crossed central Florida yesterday afternoon. According to the Florida Highway Patrol, the trailer crashed after a tire became separated from the vehicle near Oak Hill. The semi traveled into the median and stopped at a tree line. The Sandbar Sharks were being transported to an aquarium in New York. They were being held in individual aquariums inside the truck. The truck driver was not injured, but the sharks did die in the crash. SeaWorld was called out yesterday evening to transfer the 3 remaining sharks. They will go to SeaWorld's care facility in Orlando until transportation arrangements can be made. According to the Florida Museum of Natural History, the Sandbar shark is the most abundant species of large shark on this side of the Atlantic Ocean. It is most commonly found in harbors, estuaries, and the mouths of bays and rivers, but since it avoids beaches and the surface, the sharks pose very little threat to humans. The Florida Highway Patrol said troopers were interviewing an 88-year-old man who hit and killed a pedestrian on U.S. Highway 27 in Lake County and then drove away from the scene. Investigators said the victim, identified 58-year-old Scott Parrish of Leesburg, was hit around 9 a.m. yesterday while walking on the paved shoulder along the northbound side of US 27 near Arlington Ridge Boulevard south of Leesburg near Okahumpka. Troopers said the driver, identified as William Thomas, kept driving after hitting the man who was later pronounced dead at the scene. Leesburg police stopped Thomas about 4 miles north of the crash. Thomas told troopers he was on his way to the hospital to see his wife. Environmentalists and animal rights activists are asking Governor Rick Scott to call off the bear hunt. Bear hunting was outlawed in Florida more than 20 years ago because the animals were nearly wiped out, but officials at the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission say the Florida black bear population has recovered enough to allow a limited hunt. Many of those bears have been showing up in the suburbs lately to raid garbage cans for food, leading to a rash of complaints from terrified Floridians. The Wildlife Commission says one way to reduce the number of encounters is to allow the killing of between 240 and 280 bears during a one-week hunting season in October. In a letter to the Wildlife Commission, former NRA President Marion Hammer says, quote, bears are terrorizing homeowners and preventing families from allowing children to play outside. It's time to reduce the numbers with controlled hunting, unquote. But Laura Bevan, Southeast Regional Director of the Humane Society, says, quote, there is no scientific study that says killing bears in the woods for trophies is going to impact bears eating trash in the neighborhoods, unquote. Bevan says bear-proof garbage cans will do a lot more to stop encounters with humans than killing bears in the forest who are nowhere near residential neighborhoods. The Humane Society, the Sierra Club, the Center for Biological Diversity, and the League of Women Voters all oppose the bear hunt. They're asking Governor Scott to intervene before the Wildlife Commission gives final approval to the plan later this month. And those are the headlines from The Source, WOCA.